You're shopping for a waterfront home, but did you know there are different types of waterfront property? It's called bank height, and bank height can completely change the waterfront home ownership experience. Here in the Pacific Northwest, in the Puget Sound region, we have more waterfront than almost anywhere else in the world. I kid you not. The labyrinth of in and out waterfront banks, Kitsap County, Seattle side, all throughout the islands around here, give us more waterfront than almost anywhere you could possibly move. But here's the fascinating thing. If you looked on a map and you said, oh, I want to live on waterfront, I want to live there, what you might not know is there are dramatic differences between the various different waterfront heights. There's low bank, high bank, then there's mid-bank, and every range in between. My friend Tim that owns this property that we're at today has told me that he loves to sit and watch the eagles as they soar at eye height. Here at high bank, this is literally the height that eagles soar. You're staring eye to eye with the tip of Mount Rainier over there. It kind of feels like you're looking down from the sky at a diorama of the world beneath you. You watch the birds soar at eye height. In this case, you can see the airplanes flying at eye height right here from this high bank waterfront. It's a completely different experience watching the world from high bank than it is from low bank. As you're shopping for a high bank waterfront, you're gonna definitely wanna make sure that you're considering how stable the embankment is between your house and all the way down to the water. Geotech surveys is one of the most effective ways to bring in an expert professional who will survey the land around and interpret the signs, potentially even do core samples if necessary, to make sure that you're buying a home that's not eventually gonna slide down into the water. This home has been here for over 100 years, and all the signs suggest this is one of the safest places to have a house, even though you're probably 50 feet from a 200-foot drop to the water. A low bank waterfront like this is what gets all the press and what you probably think about when you're thinking of owning waterfront property. There's relatively way less a low bank waterfront like this than there is medium bank and high bank waterfront across the Puget Sound area. But look at this. Here you are right on the waterfront, eyeball to eyeball with everything that's happening on the water. You don't get the epic drama of high bank waterfront where you're looking down on the world almost like a diorama. But here you get the waterfront lifestyle. Your concerns here at low bank waterfront are A, dealing with sea lions and otters in your front yard, and making sure that your bulkhead is actually stable enough to withstand the water hitting it at high tide, and making sure that you're just up high enough that the king tides aren't gonna flood your basement like has happened to so many people over the last several years. If my team shows you waterfront homes, likely the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna walk right past the house and we're gonna walk down here and examine the bulkheads. This is an example of an excellent bulkhead in excellent shape. You might be surprised, but more often than not, there are bulkhead problems. As the water and the weather and the tides attack your bulkhead, it's gonna destabilize this, and it is one of the most expensive things about owning waterfront is getting the permits and the necessary things in order to be able to rebuild a broken or a failing bulkhead. So when you're examining waterfront to purchase, make sure that the first thing you look at is whether or not your bulkhead is actually intact. So I hope you find your waterfront dream home here in the Puget Sound area, but make sure you go in fully educated. My team and I specialize in waterfront homes here in Kitsap County and all across the Puget Sound. Reach out to us if you have any questions. If you want a geotech, or you want somebody to examine a bulkhead, or if you're just simply looking for expert advice, shopping for or selling a waterfront home, reach out to us. Look forward to talking to you soon.